Straight ahead on WBKB, the search is on again for a county administrator. Plus, the Pfizer vaccine gets full FDA approval. What happens next? And there's still time to donate school supplies in Alpena. You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
Live from Alpena, Michigan, this is WBKB 11 Evening News. With news anchor Sherry Stewart, this is your up-to-date and continuing coverage on local news, weather, and sports. These are the stories that matter and the news that affects you most. This is WBKB 11 Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Stewart. The Alpena County Board of Commissioners must resume their search for an administrator. Jeff Knoop, their recent pick for the job, has backed out. Commissioners say the passing of 2 family members played a role in Knoop's decision. He was coming from Indiana to take the job. One board member says it's possible that past applicants may be reconsidered.
We'll bring it up, you know, the debate of, or the discussion of, do we want to continue with this list, or do we want to re-interview, or even with the ones, you know, that's all an option on the table. And we'll do as collectively as the board would like to proceed.
And Adrian says while they are sad to lose Knoop, they understand his decision as family comes first. The board could meet as early as Tuesday to decide their next steps. Alpena is playing emergency host to some military equipment this week. Airmen from Rhode Island flew 5 cargo planes to the Combat Readiness Training Center on Saturday. The Rhode Island National Guard decided to evacuate the $14 million planes to prevent damage from the slow-moving Hurricane Henri. Colonel James Rossi says the CRTC is a popular choice for evacuations because of its ample ramp space. Given how slowly the hurricane is traveling, it's currently unknown when the planes can return home safely. Well, Pfizer's COVID vaccine is now fully approved by the FDA for use in people ages 16 and older. Now that it has the same level of regulation as other vaccines, more companies, universities, and local governments are expected to make getting the vaccine mandatory. Femi Redwood has the latest.
Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine is the first to be fully approved by federal regulators. FDA officials hope the approval lifts public confidence in the vaccine among the unvaccinated.
The FDA approval is the gold standard.
President Biden has a message for Americans who vowed to wait for full approval before getting inoculated.
The moment you've been waiting for is here. It's time for you to go get your vaccination and get it today.
Following approval, the Pentagon announced it will require members of the military to get the vaccine, and New York City's public school teachers and staffers must do so as well. Nationwide, just over half the U.S. population has gotten fully vaccinated while the vaccines were under emergency use authorizations. But vaccination rates are going up again as unvaccinated patients infected with the Delta variant fills hospitals across the country. In Louisiana, the number of COVID deaths in that state jumped more than 300% since June. At Our Lady of Lourdes Regional Medical Center in Lafayette, every one of the 24 patients in the main ICU are COVID positive, including 24-year-old Kaylee Rowe, who was unvaccinated and pregnant. Doctors delivered her baby, but Rowe remains on a ventilator.
We booked a family vacation. We thought, like the rest of the world, this isn't that real of a virus.
And as more children head back into the classroom, a CBS News poll finds while the majority of parents support a mask requirement, they are split over vaccine requirements. It found 48% of parents think schools should require a vaccine, while 52% believe schools should not. Femi Redwood, CBS News, New York.
Crime Stoppers is thanking the community for their help in a recent investigation. In June, Mr. Ed's IGA Market in Asanique was broken into. The store's security cameras captured images of 4 individuals, 2 who didn't have their faces covered. Michigan Crime Stoppers received 20 tips, with 1 eventually leading police to a suspect. Recently, that suspect turned himself in and confessed to the crime. Well, there's help on the way for families needing food assistance. NIMSCA has announced an emergency food distribution program taking place Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The drive-through distribution will take place at Word of Life Church in Alpena, and that address is on your screen. 1 week before classes begin, there's still time to help donate school supplies in Alpena. The Salvation Army has received Stuff the Bus donations, but turnout has proven slow the last few years. To help, the organization has extended its collection window this year. The Salvation Army says the more donations they receive, the more students they can help. The organization still needs specific items.
Some supplies that we need, especially more of the high school supplies for our high schoolers. We get a lot for the elementary school, plenty of pencils and crayons and markers, but like highlighters is what we need. The college grade paper, line paper is what we need. 3-ring, 3-inch folders, binder folders is what we need.
Parents and students will have the opportunity to pick up school supplies this week. Just bring your students to the Salvation Army on August 25th or the 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. to fill out an application. You will need proof of grade level to receive supplies. More news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, protecting your home before disaster strikes, and meteorologist Edward St. Pei has your 7-day forecast next.